The rain was coming down in sheets, heavy, cold, merciless. It soaked through my cardigan, ran down my back, and numbed my fingers. I stood outside my own house, pounding the front door, disbelief choking my voice. "Ethan, open the door, please." But the only sound I heard was the rain hammering the porch roof, and the faint laughter of my son and his wife from inside. My own son. My own flesh and blood. He had locked me outside like I was a stray animal. The porch light flickered, and for a moment I saw my reflection in the window, drenched hair, trembling lips, 61 years of exhaustion carved into my face. I had raised him alone, worked 2 jobs, sold my jewelry to pay his college fees. I had given him everything. And tonight he had thrown me out. I knocked again, weaker this time. "Ethan, please. I don't have my phone, it's raining." No answer. The rain intensified. My old bones shivered. Something inside me cracked, not physically but emotionally, like a rope snapping after years of strain. I staggered off the porch and down the driveway, my shoes squelching in mud. Streetlights blurred through tears and rainwater as I walked with no destination, just away. Away from the betrayal. Away from the son who had forgotten the meaning of the word mother. At the corner of the street, my legs gave out. I sat on the cold curb, hugging myself as thunder shook the sky. That's when a long black car slowed beside me. The window slid down. A man in a tailored black coat, maybe mid-50s, salt and pepper beard, sharp eyes that missed nothing, stared at me. "Ma'am, are you all right?" His voice was smooth but edged with alarm. I wiped my face. "I'm fine," I lied. "You're drenched, please let me help." "I don't need help." But my body said otherwise. I was shivering uncontrollably. He stepped out of the car with an umbrella and crouched in front of me. "You'll get hypothermia. At least sit inside the car until the rain calms." I hesitated. Trusting strangers wasn't something I did easily, but right now I had nowhere else to go. I nodded. He helped me to the car, gently like one would help a fragile person. The moment I sat on the warm leather seat, I exhaled shakily. He got in next to me. "My name is Adrian Ward," he said. "What's yours?" "Nora." He paused, studying my trembling hands. "Nora, why were you alone in the rain like that?" My throat tightened. My son locked me out. The shock on his face was immediate, on purpose. I nodded, voice cracking. I didn't agree with the way he spoke to his daughter. I told him he was being cruel. His wife, she doesn't like me. She whispered something to him, and he pushed me out, said I was interfering. Then the door locked. Adrian looked like he was trying to understand how anyone could do such a thing. "Do you have someone to call, a place to go?" "No," I whispered, "it's just me." He was silent for a moment, then reached out and handed me a warm cloth from a storage compartment. "Dry your face," he said softly. "You're safe here." I didn't know why, but hearing those simple words made tears spill again. He waited patiently. Then he said something unexpected. "Nora, listen. I'm not just a stranger, I'm a businessman. Real estate, construction, philanthropy, and I've seen all kinds of families. But what your son did, that's inhuman." I looked down, ashamed. Maybe I pushed him too hard. Maybe I should have been quieter. "No," he said firmly. "A parent should never be punished for caring." The rain continued lashing the car, but inside, his calm presence felt like shelter. "Come with me," he said after a moment. "Let me buy you a warm meal. You shouldn't be alone tonight." I wanted to refuse out of pride, but my body was exhausted. "Thank you," I whispered. He drove us to a quiet restaurant that was still open. The staff knew him. They rushed with towels, hot soup, dry clothes. I felt embarrassed by the attention, but Adrian's gentle nod encouraged me. After eating, he said, "You can stay at one of my guest houses tonight. It's safe, clean, and warm." I gasped. Oh no, I couldn't. You're not imposing, I insist. I finally agreed. The small guest house he offered looked like a place from a magazine, soft sheets, warm lights, everything spotless. For the first time in months, I slept without crying. When I woke up in the morning, a housekeeper brought breakfast and said, "Mr. Ward will arrive soon." I panicked. Why would he come? Why was he helping a stranger? But when he arrived, he wasn't intimidating. He carried a small notebook. "I thought you might want to talk," he said with a calm smile. That morning changed my life. As we sat across from each other at the little dining table, he asked gently, "Nora, tell me everything. Start from the beginning." No one had ever asked me that, not even my son. I told him about raising Ethan alone after my husband died, about working at the supermarket during the day and cleaning offices at night, about skipping meals so Ethan could have extra tuition, about the loans, the sacrifices, the dreams. And how, once he married Lily, everything changed. She disliked me from the start. She said I was too old-fashioned, too involved, too present. Ethan slowly drifted away. Then he moved to the suburbs with his wife. I visited only when invited. I walked carefully, spoke softly, tried not to be a burden. But last night, when I saw him yelling at his daughter, my sweet granddaughter, I stepped in. And he threw me out. When I finished the story, I felt empty, like I had poured out my entire heart. Adrian looked furious on my behalf. "Nora, you deserved none of this." I wiped tears. Maybe it's time I stop expecting anything from him. "You're right," he said, "but you also deserve better." He closed his notebook. "What if I help you rebuild your life?" I frowned. "How?" "I run a senior community program. Many older adults work part-time, mentor children, or use their skills. You told me you are great with organizing, right?" I nodded slowly. "I could give you a coordinate manager position in one of my charity homes. You'd have a stable income, a warm community, and independence." My heart pounded. "Adrian, that's too much." "It's not charity," he said with a smile. "It's an investment. People like you make the world better." That day, I accepted the offer. And my life began to change. In the following weeks, I moved into a comfortable apartment within Adrian's senior community. It was beautiful, sunlit rooms, a tiny balcony with flowers, neighbors who greeted me daily. I felt alive again, needed, appreciated. I began working at the community center, managing volunteers, organizing events, helping seniors with paperwork. Everyone loved me. For the first time in years, I felt respected. Adrian visited often, sometimes to check on the center, sometimes with pastries, sometimes just to ask how my day went. One evening, while going through paperwork, I said, "Adrian, why did you help me, truly?" He leaned back in his chair. "Because years ago, I watched my own mother suffer. My father neglected her. She died without ever seeing kindness in her final years. When I saw you on the street that night, I saw her." My heart tightened. "And I decided," he said quietly, "I'd never let another mother suffer if I could help it." I reached across the table and squeezed his hand. "Your mother would be proud." He smiled softly. Months passed. My job blossomed. My confidence grew. I made new friends. I started painting again, baking again, things I had given up years ago. And one warm spring afternoon, everything changed. I was organizing a fundraiser at the community hall, a big event, guests from across the city. Adrian was giving a speech. But as I arranged chairs, I froze. At the entrance stood Ethan, my son, and his wife, both looking shocked. "Mom," he said quietly. I felt dizzy. "Ethan, why are you here?" We saw your photo on the event poster, and the address. We wanted to check if it was really you." Lily stepped forward awkwardly. "We heard you were working for a millionaire." Her tone made it sound like a crime. I breathed slowly. I'm working, I'm living my life, that's all. Ethan looked ashamed. Mom, about that night we made a mistake. A mistake. Throwing your mother into a storm. Locking the door. Laughing inside. My silence made them squirm. Ethan finally said the words I had waited for my entire life. Mom, please come home, we need you. Before I could respond, Adrian entered the hall. Ethan stared at him. You're the millionaire helping her. Adrian stepped beside me calmly. Yes, and I'm proud to do so. Lily rolled her eyes. You stole her from us. She belongs with her family. Adrian laughed softly. You had her, and you threw her into the rain. Ethan swallowed hard. She's our mother, our responsibility. No, Adrian said firmly. Respect is your responsibility. Safety is your responsibility. Love is your responsibility. He stepped slightly in front of me, protective. You failed all three. Lily snapped, so what? You want to keep her here forever. Adrian smirked. If she wants to stay, she stays. She owes you nothing. Ethan turned to me, voice breaking. Mom, I'm sorry, truly. I was stressed, angry, I took it out on you. Please forgive me. I looked at my son, grown man, trembling, finally humbled. And instead of anger, I felt peace. I forgive you, I said softly, but I'm not coming back. His eyes widened. Why? Because here I have dignity. He opened his mouth but closed it again. Tears filled his eyes. Adrian rested a hand on my shoulder. Nora, do you want me to ask them to leave? Before I could reply, Lily pointed at the community center wall, the one decorated with Ethan's childhood photos I had brought. Smiling school pictures, drawings he made for me, memories of years I fought alone. Lily snorted. This is pathetic. She clings to the past like a needy child. Adrian's expression hardened. Something in him snapped. He turned to his staff and said one cold, commanding sentence. Destroy it. Everyone froze. Ethan blinked. Destroy what? Adrian pointed at the wall of photos. Take it all down, every memory that hurts her, every reminder of betrayal, right now. Two staff members immediately moved forward. Wait, Ethan shouted. Those are my childhood photos. And this, Adrian said with icy calm, is her new life, one she chooses, one she deserves. I grabbed Adrian's arm. Stop, please. He looked at me gently. Nora, you don't need symbols of people who hurt you. I whispered, but I'm not ready to erase him. Not yet. Adrian nodded immediately. Then we keep them, because you decide, no one else. He signaled the staff to halt. Ethan whispered, Mom, I'm sorry, I truly am. I touched his cheek. I believe you, but beliefs don't rebuild trust, actions do. He nodded, crying. I'll prove myself, he promised. I'll earn you again. I smiled sadly. I hope you do. He and Lily left quietly. When the door closed, Adrian turned to me. You okay? I breathed deeply. I am, because for the first time I chose myself. He smiled. You deserve a life where you never stand alone in the rain again. I whispered, I think I found that life. And Nora, he said gently, you'll never lose it. Over time, Ethan changed, truly changed. He visited humbly, respectfully. Our relationship healed, but on my terms. As for Adrian, he didn't remain just a helper, or a friend, or a protector. He became something I never expected at 61. A reason to smile again. And he kept his promise. I never stood alone in the rain again.